Welcome back here. We're at De La Salle Stadium, Mullen High School, and we come out of a long halftime. Of course, it's homecoming here at Mullen High School. Very, we said this 3 or 4 times, spirited student section, and of course the fans here. And the fans from Chatfield travel well. You see the other side of the field there. A lot of people making their way here from Chatfield. I mean,
it's neon night, by the way, for Chatfield, if you can see upper left-hand corner. I went and asked one of the ladies, what's the theme? She goes, it's neon. Can't you tell? I'm like,
whoops. Yep. Right. Mullen's going to get the football here to start the second half as Chatfield started off with the ball, went down immediately, scored, but Mullen able to tie it up and now hold the lead 27-14. That is Jones with the football. Jones the fourth now, trying to pick his way through. Got a little bit of a wall here on the right side. He spun out of bounds into the Mullen, essentially bench there. A nice play by Drew Johnson on special teams. He was about the last one left to get Jones. This one is going to go back. You can see the penalty flag on the top left-hand screen of your corner. There is the white cap. Finds out what it's all about.
Two-score spread for Mullen. We'll let the official finish.
This will go back to about the 29-yard line now. So again, not bad, but certainly not the near 50-yard line where Jones had taken this one out for Mullen.
Add more yards to the run game if Mullen is able to continue to be as successful as they've had been. 4 different scoring drives, and it's been run game. Tafoya's done a little bit himself, and then McElroy, of course, with the 3 touchdowns. If he's not already there, he's got the 3 digits and then the complement with Shamon Hamilton.
They go right back to McElroy, slips a couple tackles down this right side, lowers the head down to the 41-yard line.
That right side, offensive right side, they've been able to exploit. That's very similar to the 66-yard touchdown run we saw back in the first quarter. And it just depends on how Marcus reads it. Is he going to go ahead and take the gap between guard and tackle or bounce it to the outside as you just saw on your monitor?
Yeah.
And he's done that to success quite often.
Coleman and Odell on the tackle, 31 yards on the first carry from scrimmage in the second half. Give it to Hamilton now. Hamilton cuts his way back to the middle part of the field. He's off to the races and gone. Another touchdown for Mullen, the first for Sherrod Hamilton.
And you have to give love to that offensive line for Mullen and what they've done in creating a wide open gap. That time, same play, different ball carrier. And Hamilton elects to go to the inside. So Jack Hain, Adam Shack, Mr. Langren, Van Jacobs, that big crew up front, creating some space, and now some space on the scoreboard as we await to see if Mullen can advance it to 34-14.
Tanner Clem on the extra point try here. And it's up and good. Missed the last point after try, but this one is true, and the lead goes to 20, 34-14. Took them just 2 plays to get it done from their own 29-yard line.
Inconvenient, but, you know, he hangs around an athletic department, so you got to deal with the wins and the losses. In here with us is Chad Brewer, who's the athletic director at Chatfield High School. And Chad, you know, we walked right into it after a scoring play for the opponent.
Yeah.
You know, we have talked at length to where, risky on getting boring about explaining the narrative behind the Chatfield defense, what they've endured so far this year. When you see something like this happening out there in the football field, what's your reaction from an athletic director's perspective?
Well, you know, it's kind of what you'd always want. There's good kids, and, you know, you don't want to blame it on injuries, but we've had a host of injuries this year. You name it, from when we were in Florida. One of our stars got hurt. We ended up taking 3 kids to the emergency room that night. And it's just been one injury after another for what was supposed to be a real promising season.
So you kind of, it has impact on you from your position. When the injuries come in, you kind of have to have a level of awareness with that, right, as the AD?
Absolutely. You know, part of it is, you enjoy being on the field to watch the games, but you're down there to watch the kids. And it's like I tell my wife when I come home and, you know, I'm like, oh, we got beat. And she's like, honey, it's football. And I'm like, it's football, honey, but these are my friends. These coaches are my friends, and they've been working for months. And these kids I've known since they were, freshman year. I heard about Kyle Winkler when he was a freshman, and Sean O'Dell and Matt Gator. And, I mean, as an AD, you take possession of some of these kids, and you just get to know them and what type of student they are, and they side you in the classrooms or in the hallways. And you're vested, and that's the fun part of being an AD is you're almost like a coach one level away.
Lucas Gunkel there with a 5-yard carry. They'll say 4 actually inside the 39.
More fun topic from an AD's perspective. This offense, very exciting for you to watch?
Ton of fun.
Okay.
I remember, there we go.
Yep, had his man down there for a moment. Gilbert running deep that time against Isaiah Banks.
It was, back to this offense about 3 years ago. Coach McGowan came to me and asked if they could go to a conference in Illinois, I believe, to see this school who ran this type of offense. And said absolutely. So 3 of our coaches went, including the offensive coordinator, and the product is what you see. And it's perfect for a kid like Kyle Winkler. He has a phenomenal GPA, phenomenal baseball players, being recruited by some D1 Ivy League schools for baseball. So when you have someone that intelligent running the program, it definitely helps.
You can see they'll check with the sideline here. That's worked a couple times on Mullen in the first half to get them to jump offside because they go almost on first sound. Winkler sets up on a 3rd and 6 here. Back to pass, the 7-step drop right over the middle. Well executed and still on his feet. That is Keene, and Dalton Keene takes it down to about the 39. Boy, take that back.
Patrick.
That's not.
Patrick Elzenbach.
That is Elzenbach.
Thomas.
And Thomas is one of those kids. I remember 2 years ago where Coach McGatlin talking about this kid. I mean, he's gifted, and he's had injuries himself that have maybe held him back from the potential we thought 2 years ago.
Absolutely.
Give him 12 there. They try to soften up the middle a little bit. Just not a lot of room there that time. But again, they're looking to try to get it to Elzenbach.
What else is on your radar from the AD perch? You have an excellent volleyball program that is consistently good with Coach Schick. That's going on here in the fall. Some other programs, some things on your radar.
Yeah, absolutely. We got playoffs coming up. Softball had a great year, just 3 seniors on the team. They ended up tied for 2nd in league and will make the playoffs. Volleyball's doing real well. They had a big win this week against Lakewood. Lakewood's first loss in league play in 6 years. So that was really big for Chatfield. So we should get 2nd place there. Boys tennis, back-to-back league titles for them. They just finished regionals and have 5 kids going to the state tournament next week down at Gates Tennis Complex. So, things are good. And then the weather starts changing. You start thinking of winter sports and moving everything inside. And obviously with Chatfield, you start talking about, boys basketball and the program that Coach Schimpler runs and the success that they have had.
Yes, continued success, It sounds like, potentially this season.
Well, I think we've had 28 varsity seasons of basketball at Chatfield, and we've won the league title 14 of them, including back-to-back. So we've lost a lot of good talent the last couple of years, but we'll reload.
Chatfield's one of those. When it comes, we talk about the sports for Chatfield, it's not rebuild, it's reload. It really is the case. I mean, whether it be football, we talk volleyball doing very well this season, but basketball always seems to be that case.
Yep.
Up over the top again, trying to find that seam down the middle. It just doesn't seem to be there. As they go for it on 4th and 12 there, you're in that no man's land. So instead of punting, they took a shot down the field, but could not find. They haven't been able to hit the deep balls tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's been an issue all year. Last year we had a young man by the name of Jarrell, and he was like 6'3", could jump out of the gym, and between him and Kyle Winkler, we just don't have that playmaker this year as far as the deep ball goes.
Well, lots of good things ahead for not only this football program, and it makes me think when we're talking about the community that you have, and it wheels into wintertime with Schimpler. With that basketball squad doesn't always have Trevor Wage's type of talent and size.
Correct.
But somehow Schimpler wins conference championships, and it reminds me of conversations with Coach McGatlin. His focus is I'm not going out to get anybody. The idea is I'm just going to keep the ones we have here. and it seems to work out for us.
That's absolutely true, and with all of our coaches, something that you look for in an AD is coaches who are going to build character into kids, and I always think that the job of an AD is to hire coaches that you'd want your kids to play for, and that's how I look at through the lens that I look at when I try and hire a new coach is would I want my child to play for this person. And Coach McGatlin told me the other day, he goes, my job isn't winning games, it's building character in kids, make these young men into men. I'm like, you can go 0-9 and you'll still be our coach at Chatfield.
Nicely done. Chad, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Chad Brewer.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks, Chad.
The athletic director from Chatfield High School. I think he's ready to go out there and watch some more football, too. He's dialed in. You can tell he's mooking back and forth, ready to call some plays. Appreciate that, Chad.
There's McElroy on the carry there. Boy, after a nice stop, as you saw, Dalton Keene with a great stop. There was you saw a blow to the head, the personal foul, and so a 15-yard penalty. So what was a loss turned into a gain on the penalty and sets him up now. 2nd down and 8 for Mullen after Chatfield turned the ball over on downs. Just a gain of 2 here. So a 2nd and 8, and again Tafoya now. Hamilton this time, and he'll drive in. Gator had him, but Hamilton able to get the push and fall forward down to near the 42.
Again, run game nearly exclusively from the Mullen Mustangs, and maybe that's in-game adjustment to where, hey, look, you go with what's working for you, right?
Yeah.
They haven't been able to stop us consistently, 3 plays in a row with what we've been doing with Hamilton and McElroy especially, but also what it does to negate having to deal with that Chatfield offense and the up-tempo pace.
Tafoya right on cue after you say that, Marty. They find coming across Stevens, and Stevens will be pulled down at the 36-yard line, and just a simple crossing route that time on the coverage. Mitchell Johnson.
Maybe I'm just using reverse psych on the play calling for Mullen, because I really do enjoy the wide receiving core from last year, just seeing these guys in Stevens and Manning and then Sinkowitz. That was last year when they had the freshman Tafoya out there.
Oh, look out, Hamilton. And Gator got him down around the feet to slow him down, and the rest of the Chargers will catch up to him. He is still driving forward. They finally blow the whistle. He actually did not go down.
Favorite thing about Hamilton, he does not joke around. No. Here's the play call. This is going to be the gap. You go to it. He makes the one-cut cliche, but it works for him. And he's so fast getting through there. He's second level just like that.
9.5 yards there on that gain.
By the way, we should mention, since it's a pause, wait for the officials' verdict. Shout out to Mullen, because you see they have the pink spat. It is.
Yeah. We're in October, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
So Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
They got the spat. You see Big Boy 68. He's got the undergear going with a little splash of pink. When you're that size, you can pink up all you want.
That's right.
Nobody's going to call you on it, right?
Whatever color you'd like to wear.
I got a bow in my hair, too. What do you got?
Yeah, that is cool. 6-0 strength, building better athletes with the will to be great. They prepare athletes for the next level, both physically and mentally. You can visit their website. That is 60strength.com.
Which we should also, the recognition of breast cancer awareness is something that we strongly believe in. And it's just, it's just a good feel about it. We also want to be sincere in offering a get well soon to Matt McChesney. I sent him a DM saying, I have no credibility in even being close to understanding what kind of surgery that was that you're going through. Yeah. But I see him every once in a while throwing a few things out, and you can tell it's a challenge for him. So get well soon.
Big play that time. Dylan Ellis firing through there, and one of the few times that Marcus McElroy has been stopped behind the line. Lost 2 yards there.
Still at this point for the Mullen offense, though, you're just eating clock up. You got a nice lead. And your defense is holding that Chatfield offense to just 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's impressive in itself. Coming up on 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And a keeper by Tafoya. He's got nowhere to go. gator in his face. One of the first guys to get to him was Karstensen.
17, Karstensen right there on the floor. He's on the turf.
And a loss of 2 again. Suddenly, the Mustangs going backwards thanks to the good play calls by Chatfield.
Way to stay with the play, Matt Gator. 2 different blockers coming at him. I saw him eventually be able to shed them to follow the play and help make the tackle.
4th and 4. You're in that no man's land.
And now it'll be a first down.
Had a blitzer coming up. I don't know if it was Karstensen or whether it was Bristol. Just got too close to it.
Those are those little things that really sting, not only yielding a first down, but the way you do it.
Well, I said 4th and 4. I should say 4th and 5, but now it is inches for the Mustangs and maybe measurement time.
Oh, I thought it was first down automatically.
Yeah, they had 4 down, and then I got to look at where the down marker was. It's pretty close, and you see where they marched it to right at the 29-yard line. That's about where the first down marker is.
You know, you look at a play like that where it presents 4th and short because of a miscue mentally on the part of the defense. Remember, start of this broadcast, I said one of the things Mullen has to do, being so absolutely young with just 9 seniors on the roster, only 6 of them are starters, is they had to play above their maturity level. We haven't seen a lot of that from the Mustangs in blue, have we?
No, we really haven't.
Not a lot of plays like that. And matter of fact, they're the ones who have created and collected 2 turnovers. 0 turnovers committed by Mullen.
First down. So the opportune time to go with the hard count here for Tafoya works. Gets them a first down without having to run a play here. So now 1st and 10, almost inside the red zone. They're just outside the 24 of Chatfield. For Mullen, this is the 8th play of the drive. They've already burned off about 3.5 minutes. Tafoya up from under center, going up top. Got a man there. Caught, touchdown, Stevens for the Mustangs. Patrick Stevens matched up all alone out there, one-on-one. They like the matchup and check to it.
Second touchdown reception for Stevens. I think that was designed to be a jump ball situation where Stevens would have an advantage in size. You saw that. But then it came to where Stevens just blew by his man and only had to make the over-the-shoulder catch and make sure he was sure-footed enough to bring both feet in.
The extra point is up and good. 41 now to 14. 3 touchdowns on the ground by Tafoya. Hamilton has the 4th rushing touchdown and 2 through the air. Tafoya to Stevens on both of those for the Mustangs. And they increase their lead here. You can get your school's games live streamed whenever the season may be, whatever the sport, basketball, hockey, rugby, any other sport. Email Phil at streamitsports.com for details.
4 consecutive scores unanswered for the Mullen Mustangs as we approach another defensive series for Mullen. They haven't allowed a point since the first quarter. That was the Winkler to Gilbert touchdown pass with about a minute left in that opening quarter. But again, just trying to go through what we have statistically and through summary, trying to draw up the story here.
Run right up through the wedge by Lucas Gunkel up to about the 37-yard line. That's where the Mustangs will start. 8 plays, 59 yards, 3 minutes and 45 seconds burned off the clock. And to add on to that, Mustangs scored. Put another 7 up on the board.
Mullen can score some points. Put up 40 against Gateway in their opening
Winkler is
win.
Sacked.
I think a turning point was I was on the field for the Regis game, which was I was assigned somewhere else, but it was broadcast here on Stream It Sports. Mullen was very close to beating that Regis squad. A couple of plays here and there. They had opportunities. It didn't work out against their bitter Catholic rival against Regis, and then And then they got shut out the next week by a very, very good and extremely well-coached Pomona squad. I think that might have been backlash. But Mullen's been progressing, got the win against A West, lost last week against Columbine. Again, considering geography, Mullen kids and Columbine kids know each other extremely well.
Very well.
Very, very well. Absolutely. But it seems like Mullen may be able to establish some momentum here.
Well, on top of the sack, now the penalty declined. There was a chop block, and Mullen said, no, it's fine. We got an 11-yard sack on Kyle Winkler, so give Mikey Pryor the credit on that one. Pryor and Hain was there. Winkler back to pass again, this time down the seam, incomplete. Little short of his intended receiver. Cumber was ready to lay the wood to that receiver coming over the middle, though.
Couple of different defenders. Perhaps if he would have caught the ball, the wood would have gotten laid.
Well, that's Eisenbast
No question.
who gives just as good as he gets, though. So Winkler back up, 3rd and 20 now, and about 21 as it sits, but not quibbling. Winkler looking, steps up, jumps and throws, and too high for his intended receiver. Safety valve essentially, as Gilbert was kind of hanging around down underneath, but he was trying to get all 20 back on that 3rd down play. And a flag down.
Case of a very talented quarterback just trying to make anything happen
for
his squad where, they've suffered adversity. We've talked about it.
Well, scrambling around looking for anybody. Yeah, it's a loss of down as well. Hence the jump pass.
Yes.
He knew he was getting close
right.
and needed to release it quickly.
Well, awareness. I mean, even the athletic director, Chad Brewer, pointed it out. But smarts is not something Kyle Winkler lacks either.
Yeah.
I know Mines is looking his way, wants to go to the Ivy schools. And they're looking.
Yeah. 4th and Jefferson County to go here. 25. They'll naturally punt this one away. And taking it at the 40-yard line, Banks. And Banks to the 50-yard line. Stood up, and they'll finally blow the whistles as the pile falls over. Return of 10 yards by Isaiah Banks.
Well, it's good to get a look at Banks. Banks is one of that foursome that Coach Thinnell and the defensive staff so proud of at Mullen. Just a sophomore, extremely good athlete. He and Chris Cumber, those 2017 safeties that have so much potential ahead of them. The way the game has flowed, you haven't been able to call his name out too much. Well, Chatfield hasn't gone deep ball too much on him. And maybe it's one of those where they've also avoided Banks.
Oh, delayed handoff, McElroy. Well covered by Chatfield. About 4 yards of the gain. Gator was there. Keene got him from behind, and Hurstonson also there.
Good follow by Keene, staying with the play. He was outside rush from the far side, as the way you look at it, top side on your monitor. It went past him, but he never let up. I don't think there's an issue, and I think it's, again, personified by watching the play of Sean Odell, and you just saw in Dalton Keene.
Yeah.
Forget about the story. The Chatfield kids are still hustling. They're still battling. They know that, it's not what they expected back in August.
Little flinch there by the left guard, so a loss of 5. And the ball goes back to just inside Mullen's own 49-yard line.
I know one game 2 weeks from now, as I mentioned, Mullen kids and Columbine kids know each other well. The Chatfield Columbine games coming up in a couple of weeks. And there is
That's another game of the week there. Yeah, we'll have that for you.
No question. That is fun to be at.
That's the natural rivalry right there. Back to McElroy, spun down as he gets to about the 45-yard line. There's a little extracurricular activity, but both helping each other up as they were finishing off the tackles, or finishing off the blocks, we should say. And they say play through the whistle. That's what they did.
Tyler Campbell, 54, involved in blue for Mullen. Called him out earlier on one of the McElroy shorter touchdown runs. Now we have so many McElroy touchdown runs that we're starting to categorize them.
Right, there's a short, a medium, and a long run of 66 yards. 3rd and 6. Tafoya to the left side, perfectly slid in there. Sienkiewicz and down inside the 15-yard line.
Very nice toss. DB was in excellent position, but look at Tafoya, the sophomore, over the top of the defender just to have, I don't know, the risky fortitude to go for it. Because to me, that'd be check off of that. Yeah. But no, he went over the top of the defender, trusting his wide receiver to get the ball. Nice connection and, of course, a big game, as you saw.
First catch for Michael Sienkiewicz.
Sienkiewicz is one of my favorites. I mentioned lunch pail earlier. I gave him a lunch pail in that Regis game because he made two gigantic blocks annihilating people downfield to spring big scores.
Trying to be the next level student athlete here, that's for sure. That inside the 10-yard line, and that's McElroy again. And getting the help up from Sean Odell. The grab by the pads to pick him up.
And next level student athlete watch list. I think we're going to be leaning run game in this one.
Yeah. Looks like it might be there. Run of 7, by the way, for McElroy, and they're down inside the red zone, obviously. Inside of 3 minutes to go. A 2nd and 3 coming up here. Well, who gets the ball? McElroy in the backfield. Got a fullback sitting down in front of him, and they'll give it to the fullback. Not fooled by that one. Trying to spread it around a little bit, but Buck Thunnell, they were looking for big 46 that time, and there's Keene right down in the middle of it. And Bristol there as well.
Excellent job by that D-line. Just getting through with some LBs creeping up. See hands on the hips. Been out there a long time.
Yeah, they certainly have.
Not just this series, but through the entirety of the game.
Bow the backs here a little bit, trying to make that stop. And they'll give him half the distance to the goal there as Tafoya gets him to jump again. Did it on 4th down. Got him to do it again. Mullen, by the way, 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions in that first half. So it's 1st and goal now for Mullen here. They've already burned off almost about 3 minutes, 20 seconds again on the clock, and now they're threatening to put more points up on the board. Ball's inside, just inside the 4-yard line of Chatfield as the Chargers try to bow the backs and keep them out. Tafoya, McElroy's on his right hip. Hamilton's got it off the left hip and trying to find some room. There's nothing there.
Ooh, careful. I believe that ball might have been out. The officials are going to say whistle was blown. I already know where this is going.
Lucas Gunkel said, no, I knocked that thing loose. He was hopping mad coming out of that pile.
If we had Phil and Alex patch together a highlight, we would see that I don't think ball carrier was down, but whistle was blown.
Yeah.
You could hear the whistle. Would have been the first turnover forced by Chatfield and a big play to make a stop.
Loss of 2, so 2nd and goal from the 6 now.
Mustangs have already scored more on the board than they have the entire season.
Stack package up top of your screen. You can't quite see it. They'll give to McElroy, and he's got nowhere to go. Whoa, ball's out, but again the whistle blew. Matt Gator down around the feet. Bristol up high. And Zach Sokolsky is also there.
And Mitchell Johnson also involved. Nice stand on the part of the Chargers defense.
No gain. And it's 3rd and goal from the 6. Well, this is huge. This is about motivating and bowing the backs and saying, no, we're going to stop it here. May not be enough time left, although with the quick strike offense, you never know. But you can't let them score here. Tafoya pulls it out, throws right side, touchdown, Mullen. Well, he finally found Ryan Manning. Looked for him a couple of times. A long pass into the end zone at one point. This time, Tafoya and Manning hook up for the 6-yard touchdown.
Well, remember that quote from Coach McGatlin for Chatfield saying, Mullen, we respect them even though they're young. They've got all the stars. each one of those stars has now scored.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just waiting for Ryan Manning.
The list of next level athletes is getting a little bit bigger. The extra point is good by Clem. And 46 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. It is now 48-14. The next level student athletes game plan helping high school athletes advance to the next level. Strengthening academics, athletics, and social and financial responsibility. Visit nextlevelsa.com to get your game plan started.
3 touchdown passes for Javon Tavoya now, 2 to Patrick Stevens, 1, as you just witnessed, to Ryan Manning. 3 touchdown runs for Marcus McElroy. Mr. Hamilton, Shimon Hamilton has a touchdown run. In terms of big play highlights, hey, let's not forget just 2 turnovers in this game, both forced by the Mullen defense. Andre Thompson with an interception, Mikey Pryor a fumble recovery back in the first quarter.
Gunkel took it at the 10. Nice return up to about the 27-yard line. By the way, Mullen's drive taking almost 4 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. 8 plays, 50 yards. Remember, they went on the shorter field on the punt return by Jones.
Real time seemed longer. We had a couple of penalties here and there.
Yeah.
Still credit the Chatfield defense. They really stayed stout, but there's only so many plays you can make a stop when you've been out there forever and really.
Well, Winkler and the Chargers will get 15 extra yards to tack on to the return. 40 seconds left to go here in this third quarter.
See what Winkler and Odell have packaged up here for this series.
Well, this goes up to the 43-yard line, so a shorter field for Chatfield, who hasn't scored since the first quarter. And they go back to the ground, picking his way through. Could be any number of backs. This time it's it's actually Frenette on the carry.
Good play call. You saw as you're watching some of those blitzers and rushers from the outside, so they sent Odell in the middle over center.
Play action. Winkler comes into the near side, going back shoulder. No flag. Oh, there is a flag. I do see it. Odell there. On the coverage, you can see Andre Thompson, who's got himself a turnover already here tonight, got the arms wrapped around him.
Well, you've seen it explained on the games you've watched at other levels. Great play on the front side of it, but probably had a hand on the back side.
Watch the back arm and the way that Odell spins out of there. Again, this is not in high school in Federation rules. This is not a spot penalty. This is automatically a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. We'll take it. And the ball up to the 38-yard line. Quick snap, handoff. Odell out of the backfield now, trying to bounce his way out into the grasp of Jones, and Jones won't let him get by. Tackled at about the 37. Give him the 36, actually, a gain of only 2. As you heard the public address announcer announce to all of us the end of the third quarter there, and a surprising 48-14 lead for Mullen, who, Chatfield hasn't scored since the first quarter, essentially. Hey, by the way, Colorado businesses, you can be a part of these broadcasts. Sponsorship opportunities are limited, so contact us to secure a spot in next week's broadcasts and for future games.
I think the surprising part isn't that Mullen has 48. It's that Chatfield isn't matching it.
Yeah, well, and that was what was going on. And knowing 9 starters were out last week, still we thought, well, offensively they might be able to keep up a little bit with Ralston Valley. You and I got a chance to see that game, and it didn't happen. And we thought they scored on their first possession here tonight. We thought, okay, here it comes. Now we're going to have a very competitive ball game and a shootout, we thought, but Give credit to the Mullen defense. They have pressured Winkler. They moved him around, made him move to spots where he didn't want to go. And good coverage. Cumber and Banks have done a nice job and add others onto it as well. Those are the youngsters that we really kind of focused on in the secondary. But Mullen defense came to play tonight.
Yeah, they sure did. And, throw in James Jones, Santos Magina, doing a great job. And that's a great way to explain it, too. Forcing Kyle Winkler to go downfield, and everybody's covered, including there.
Well,
short gain, you can have that. I don't know why we have the groans, although.
Yeah, Keene is slow to get up here. And
that kid's had a ball game, 16.
Yeah, he's going to get a breather. Got the wind knocked out of him. Boy, how about that? Winkler hit immediately when he threw it. Odell, the catch, and was hit immediately when the ball arrived. That's the kind of pressure we're talking about. Both front side and back side.
Each end of the play, physical contact.
Well, there is a flag.
Yeah, that's why the groan was underneath us. We're in the press suite above the Mullen student body and knowledgeable fathers.
Is this potentially roughing the passer?
Well, there you go.
It is, and that's where the groans come from because that was a bang-bang play.
Might have been helmet to the chin.
There you
type
go.
Of thing.
And that's something we have to consider these days to go, well, yeah, he was following through, but you can't pop onto the head. So
that I can go with it as long as you're consistent because over time everybody will get it and be able to react.
Yeah. So the ball goes to the 21-yard line, first down and 10, and the 22-yard line, and Chargers now near the red zone. They haven't seen that since the first quarter here. Winkler rolling right, got a man, and miscommunication. Odell was still turning around, but boy, Cumber was ready to pop him. Mikey Pryor was coming on a full gallop.
You think, considering personnel that and respect for Odell, that Mullen's bird dogging number 2 wherever he moves?
One guy, maybe 2 guys, keeping an eye on number 2 out there.
3 blue jerseys that time. Just wait and go ahead, catch that football.
2nd and 10, back to the ground. And a good idea to go to the ground up to about the 10-yard line this time, and it's Frenette. Run of 12 yards that time. There's your counter play.
Yeah, Ben Frenette getting some reps. Coach McGatlin said you might see him. He's just a freshman.
This time they get the ball off to, again, Eisenbast. Eisenbast carrying a little bit more. Frenette carried a handful of times in that first half. Run down to near the 7-yard line, so 2nd down. Winkler got all day this time and throws it away. Nobody was open. Good coverage. Well, look at there. Banks and Thompson over there blanketing that corner.
That's that intelligence from Winkler. Just set play, and absolutely nothing was there as designed.
He just got 2 receivers over there, too. Chase Robinson, who hasn't caught a pass tonight, which is unusual. Chase Johnson has not caught a pass tonight. You had Odell over there, who has caught a couple. Gilbert has caught a couple. Quick throw, and behind Odell, who was coming across. Nope, that's Gilbert that time, who was coming on that crossing route. Winkler had to let go of it a little sooner than I think he wanted to. A nice play fake, but the Mullen defense did not go for it.
And right there might be one of those moments where don't underestimate the value of summer 7-on-7 with your guys. There's a lot of different people playing different positions, and I visit a lot of those tournaments, and that's when guys, especially in the pass game, develop their chemistry.
4th and goal. Going to the corner, too high for his receiver. And right on cue, he was looking for Chase Robinson. Isaiah Banks made sure he did not come down with the football.
I don't blame him, but that time, perhaps a little bit of pass rush of Mullen has now affected the quarterback too.
He had a little bit of time, but he had forced himself by kind of migrating to the left side of the field. You only had one guy in the corner that you could really try to target. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a good perspective because they only came with 3.
Right. And you thought Kyle, and we can say this because we've applauded him for so many other reasons, but that time he anticipated something that wasn't there, as you said, with just the 3-man rush on that play.
Yeah, they dropped back into a full zone that time, and Winkler suddenly had kind of shuffled his way over to the left side. He only had 2 receivers he could look at. Everybody else had run to the middle and off to the right side. So first down and 10 for the Mustangs now. Tapoya goes up under center. Whoa, the ball comes loose.
That's a gift. That's going to be Chatfield ball.
Did the Chargers get on it? Gunkel thinks so. Oh, and a flag will come out now, but it'll be Chatfield football. Thomas Cordova was also helping out there, pointing. Well, Tapoya comes up with it, but the point was
47
Chatfield
came
way.
out with it. Yeah, that ball belonged to Mitchell Johnson, I believe. And see, those are those things. Now, they're well ahead. But those are those little glimpses. And not too much impact here.
Well, Chargers will get another opportunity to try to stick this into the end zone here.
Like that, too. Look at immediately. Winkler's set up. We're not transitioning here.
Right.
Winkler's got the offense out there. Let's get points.
Yep, we're good to go. And it's time to run that offense again and get it rolling. First turnover of the night for Mullen. And the ball
There's those little lapses. See, 2 years from now, when that offense is all seniors, that's going to be the foot on the neck time.
Yeah.
You know, they won't make those mistakes. They'll finish it off just grinding out clock, making smart plays, ball security, and blah, 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 everything we've all watched and listened to watching football on TV.
There's Dalton Keene, the sophomore, a couple of spin moves. I don't know how he pulled that off, but got it back to the original line of scrimmage. Good penetration that time. And we didn't mention Nate Colley a lot, but Colley right in the middle of things there.
Good for you.
Along with Big Terrell Johnson. That's who stopped that play cold. Back to Dalton Keene. This time he steps around Johnson as well as Colley. Goes a little more off tackle himself, and it's the first touchdown for the Chargers since the first quarter.
And there's a good snapshot, too. Thanks for our camera operators here with Stream It Sports. As you see the reaction of Keene. He's exhausted and or hurt.
Yeah.
and still battled through to get a touchdown, to get some points on the board for his squad.
So Keene into the end zone here, and the Chargers could go for 2 here, but most likely just let Becca Maris.
Well, Becca's upset right now. Earlier, she missed her first PAT ever.
Yeah, the 29-yarder, and she slid it right. This one straight and true on the extra point. And it's 48-21 as Chatfield tries to narrow the gap here a little bit.
Still 10 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, a lot of time. Hey, if you love what you see here, don't forget you can go to Stream It Sports Store and purchase a DVD or a Blu-ray copy today.
And it doesn't have to be just this game. They've got their cachet of an assortment of games throughout the season.
You do.
The Vault. The crew is making fun of me. So you know what I tell the kids? Don't let anybody hate on you for having a vocabulary.
Big words.
But I'll break
Big
it down.
words.
He's got a stash. and he'll give you some if you make a purchases.
So 10-19 to go here, and the onside.
Recovered by Chatfield.
Wow. Look out. Still got over 10 minutes to go in this ball game. Don't sleep on the Chargers here. Oh, isn't anybody in the stadium that feels more sick about it? Justice Labano Lucio. Lucio running up to get the ball. As he went down to the ball, he actually slid past it, got his paws on it, but couldn't pull it into the body. And as the Chargers ran over the top, they took the ball with them.
coming off a score, get the onside kick. You can feel the rush. The kids in neon just up above the top of your screen, pretty pumped up. You can see the flashes up top there of the silver pom-poms.
Quick math. Over 10 minutes ago, you need 4 touchdowns, and you got to connect on at least 3 of the extra points here. Winkler, tough throw. Did he have enough on it? No. One referee says, yeah. That's Lucas Gunkel who came back to get that one. He completes the pass right near the line of scrimmage. I don't know how he got that to him. He was awkward throw. Mustangs bring in 4, and they'll go with a run right up the middle and a gain of about 4 that time to about the 41-yard line. And Fournette on the carry.
Well, either Coach Gatlin and Coach Auckland just trying to work on little successes.
Yeah. 3rd and 6. There's Odell. First down. Up over the top. Down to the 32-yard line.
See that kid do that so many times.
Andre Thompson tried to go low. Well, you got to know when number 2's coming at you, he can go over the top.
At minimum, an hour after the game, if you want to find Sean Odell, his parts are still on the field. He leaves everything in every football game he plays.
Yeah, that is a good point. Reset. Gunkel will go to the H-back spun on the left side. Slot right, wide side of the field. Winkler still got the football. Trouble coming. He completes the pass. Not much there. Up to the 32. Gunkel hit by Cumber, and Winkler got smoked that time, and that was Nathan Dietrich.
Perfect defense you want with this kind of lead and your young sophomore safety. We will yield this, all things considered.
Yeah.
And then you go and close and make that tackle. And that's exactly what 1-7 did. That's why he's definitely, if he's not All-State this year, it's coming.
2nd and 11. Gunkel this time trips his way forward there. Never really had his balance, but that momentum just carried him up to the 24-yard line. A gain of 9. Yeah, they put him down to the 24, and we'll get a timeout here first. Well, give us a chance to say you could be the next challenger to survive the dungeon. Elite personal trainers, Famey and Megan, going to put you to the test with the new Dungeon X competition classes. You can tweet hashtag #IWillSurvive to 60strength for more information.
See the huddle up on the right side. Mullen in blue, up top, left-hand side. There's Chatfield. Fans have stuck around, so that's real nice to see for Chatfield.
Yeah. Well, everybody's here for Mullen on homecoming as well, but you're right, we mentioned, and it's good to see you and I've been, as we were talking to Mrs. Winkler, about how long we have been doing this here in the metro area.
Since the birth of the turducken.
That's right. The Friday night lights on the old 760 The Zone. Yes, the turducken was running rampant then in 2001. But so that's 13, 14 years for you and I. But again, we've seen some pretty good stuff here, and the change of the regimes, obviously with Mullen and Coach McGatlin, who's got him going here at Chatfield. Whoop! Tripped himself up. Nice and best. But again, funny things can happen in high school football.
Yeah.
Still 8.5 minutes left to go, and you go.
We have seen bizarre and weird.
The way Mullen what they did in the first quarter, the first couple of drives that they had, was pretty big. Back to the line. Not going to get there. To the 23-yard line. And guess who? Nathan Dietrich again on the play. That time it was Odell trying to run into the line. So on 4th down, they cannot get it done. And instead of going to the air, they tried to go to the ground, and the Mustangs were ready for it.
Well, that's what my instinct was, not being a coach. But I think McGatlin, Auckland, in terms of play calling, it wasn't about, hey, we have a shot. It was about, we've got a drive. We've been offered that. Let's act like it's 0-0. It's next week, whatever.
Yeah.
And let's make some things happen. Had a Fourth down situation, went for a nice run play that they thought they could get it done. It didn't work out. Mullins got the football.
Mustangs turn it over. 2 plays to go, and on the onside, could not hold it. Now Tafoya. Oh, ball's loose, and out of bounds it goes. It was headed that way anyway. Boy, Tafoya might have helped it out a little bit, just getting the paw on it that time.
That's twice, right? They lost the last one.
It is.
On the handoff. That's where.
That's Lucero punching it from behind.
But these young guys, a couple years from now, and I guarantee on film day on Monday,
that's not going to be
when
fun.
we're in this position that we've worked so hard all week to be in, by having this nice lead, we're going to be finishers. Yeah. And I'll work your butt off until we get there.
2nd and 2. And the quick throw here to the near side. And they find Manning. And again, instead of going to the run game, you're going to go, which this is essentially a run play, a quick throw to the slot receiver.
Well, after a play like that, and then again going back to a turnover in one play after making a 4th down stand, guess where the ball goes to? The senior.
Yeah. Tafoya, the sophomore, had punched out from behind.
Willing to throw the football with this kind of lead.
Yeah, to go.
It's not about running it up. It's I want it in the hands of my senior.
Yeah, give it to Ryan Manning and we'll be good. Gain of 7 there. 1st down and 10 now for the Mustangs. To Hamilton now. He got a guy around his feet there, and he kind of drags him forward just a little bit. That's Dylan Ellis again on the play for Chatfield.
Backside whiplash.
Yeah.
Which, hey, credit Hamilton. He endured that because that one stung.
Got about a yard out of it there, so 2nd down and 9 coming here. We're going to have to – we will have to reduce our next level players here a little bit. Well, we got a bunch of them. We talked about it for Mullen. I mean, and obviously Ellis for Chatfield. His play here tonight. Going to be tough to do. 2nd and 9 to Tafoya from the shotgun most of the night. And looking to pass. Over the top, caught over on the far side near the 50. That's a 1st down, and he'll step out of bounds over there. Sinkowitz with his 2nd catch tonight. Boy, he's a tough guy to bring down.
He's just one of those, and we had one of those playing for our pro team. Remember, we're 87? Just has that, you play that position, but some of your attitude isn't quite wide receiver. And I like it. I enjoy it.
Little stiff arm on the side over there. Picked up a couple extra yards. 15 total for him on the pitch and catch. Coming up on 6.5 to go here in this ball game that we thought would be a shootout, but it's really leaned in Mullen's favor. 1st down and 10 from the Chatfield 35. Tafoya will keep it himself around the far side, and guess what? The temperature's dropping, and the dew on the field is starting to get a little slick. 40 or a 3-yard run to about the 42-yard line, but again.
Everybody's winning for Mullen today. It is homecoming. I always tweet out pictures with the final.
Oh, yeah.
They tell me, I said, I saw the homecoming court.
Oh.
I said, well, let me get the king and queen. They said, there's 2 queens. I'm like, so the king has 2 queens. Hashtag winner.
Yeah, no kidding. Mullen's a great school. Here we go. Tafoya looks, quarterback keeper. And, he's got all day to run. Nobody was looking at him, and now nobody's going to catch him. 42 yards. Well, why not? The sophomore, Javon Tafoya, into the end zone. He's thrown a couple. He's thrown 3, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Now he's run for 1.
Nice night. Yeah, that's a winner, too. Very enjoyable evening for many of the Mullen Mustangs. Let's go ahead and take a peek around the state of Colorado. Some of the in-game, and we don't have any finals yet via ScoreStream, and also you can get those available on streamitsports.com. Ones of note, Eagle Crest still with a 2-point lead in the 3rd quarter, according to ScoreStream, over Valor Christian, top-ranked Valor. In the Jeffco League, Columbine 35-6 over A West. That's at the half, perhaps. We'll have to get an update on that. Something that stands out, by the way, shout out, and that's on the west side. JFK beat Lincoln. They're 6-0. The Commanders are 6-0
Wow.
this season. So
Kennedy
they just
playing
popped
well.
out as I'm peeking around. Regis over Highlands Ranch, 43-0, so they'll stay strong. Mountain Vista stays undefeated under Coach Cash with a 34-7 lead over their very tight rival in Rock Canyon.
Wow. Mountain Vista is
So Vista
right there.
they're now 6-0. Rocky Mountain lost to Fairview.
That is their first loss of the season.
Right.
I mean, obviously,
So Vista,
the Knights are for real, but Rocky, what was the final on that? Oh, you already streamed down, didn't you?
yeah, we looked down. So Rocky goes out of the ranks of the unbeaten. What I'm looking for is Mountain Vista's undefeated in 5A. What did Doherty do? Because they were one of the other undefeateds of question. I don't see one of those scores. By the way, Pomona 41-14 earlier. That was a 4 o'clock game
Yeah.
at Jeffco. Pomona 41-14 over Bear Creek. Doherty, the last we had was a 7-0 halftime lead over Legend. The Doherty Spartans also won
All right.
the surprise to many undefeated squad still alive. They have a very nice running back in Taquan Baker. As Coach explained to me in the summertime, he's got the big boys. He's got a big old line, and when I hear that
Yeah.
at this level, I go, okay, I'm paying attention.
Gunkel spinning to about the 48-yard line. Cumber is there. Brown is there as well.
The key will be, in terms of impact splash across Twitter and to the community here with Colorado Preps football, it would be, can Eagle Crest finish off and upset top-ranked Valor? Again, last score we had 23-21 in the third quarter. And Phil Mildren, Alex Wines, and our technical staff have confirmed that's a true score. Perfect. And thanks again to ScoreStream for hooking us up
Absolutely.
with a brand new toy for Phil and Alex. You know, we're the
Yeah.
Yak Yak guys, prima donnas.
Yeah. The techie guys that
What
got
do we
the
call-
cool
okay,
stuff.
techie, oh, that's fair. I had other words.
Right?
I went to high school.
Yeah.
As they both poke their horn rim buddy holly glasses back up
Yeah.
along the bridge of their nose.
Oh, come on, man. I'll cut your mic right now. That's what they're saying.
That's why you respect them. I always argue that in this business. You know, you make fun of those guys, but all I have to do is turn you down. And then you're not so funny, talented.
Well,
Your voice is not beautiful when I turn you off.
Timeout here. By the way, businesses here around Colorado, you can be a part of these broadcasts. Sponsorship opportunities are limited, so contact us to secure a spot in next week's broadcast and for future games, whether it be for the exciting action on the field or dry rapier wit. 5:16 to go here in this one. 54-21. Typical Jeffco League game this season. I mean, everybody can put up the points this year.
A lot of points. Even the tough teams, by identity, Ralston Valley, Pomona, throw in Bear Creek for sure.
Yeah, they'll roll them up.
They still have put a lot of points on the board.
Yeah.
And then just last week, Mullen, as they're turning it around here against Columbine, run game, tough, right line play.
Yeah.
The Rebels put up 56 on this very same Mustang squad last week.
Yeah.
A lot of points.
No flags there, I don't think. Winkler right over the middle, slant route there, and actually out of the H-back spot was Gunkel and surrounded by the navy blue of the Mustang defense. We mentioned, flag comes out. A little yakety yak going on. 46 degrees here at Mullen High School, so you're a little bit of that. You're down near the dew point, and I'm going to sound like an ag guy. I did ag radio for a long time, so Chatfield going backwards here with the personal foul. But again, it gets slick, and this isn't natural turf, which Jeffco teams are used to, playing at Jeffco, playing at the NAC. Mullen, of course, here at their own field at the high school, but again, natural turf. Dew point starts to get down. Yep, it starts to get a little bit slick out there. And you're seeing guys start to kind of lose their footing a little bit. Got to get those cleats into the ground. Make a solid cut. All right, so the ball all the way back to the 18-yard line now. We've gone backwards, see. Holding penalty, personal foul, and they'll just go with the delayed draw on 3rd and forever. And right in the arms of Nate Colley.
Colley, credit him. You called him a few times.
Yeah.
Normally a linebacker from where I've watched him in the past. I've seen him in a 4-point stance along the line of quite a few times.
A loss of a yard. Well, we haven't Colley and Johnson, Terrell Johnson right in the middle, big 99. They're the ones that aren't being moved in the middle, and that's why they've had to try to bounce to the outside and stuff like that. They don't always get credit for the tackle, but they certainly make your backs move when they get the ball.
Colley is number 9, and there he is, down in basically a defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
Playing the one technique.
Well done. And guess what? The Chargers going backwards again. It's back to the 12.
That's a joke on myself, by the way, so I'll go ahead and take it from the inside. I always make fun. You cannot say 3 technique unless you can explain it, period.
That's right. You're not allowed to do it.
And I've done some research, but I can't explain it enough to use it credibly.
Isaiah Banks, first real chance to return one here. I guess he did return one of 10. That time a return of 20 up to near the 30. And special teams tackle. Tyler Wilson. Sorry, we mentioned Wilson's made a couple of nice plays on special teams. That was one of them. Wilson actually not on my roster. Thank goodness that the public address announcer does. I don't think we have it either.
I'm looking
on the other roster either. No, I'm glad we'd mentioned Tyler Wilson's name before, though. I did not write it down. So Mullen with the good return. They start from the 33-yard line of Chatfield.
With a different quarterback.
Yep. And different running backs going with it as well. On the carry, Ajon Bevins.
Diedrich Odoricio.
Well,
it's kind of an Italian name, isn't it? Odoricio?
Italian or Latin, and either way, it's all good.
I always, whether it be the Eastern European team names, the Polish names, or the Italian names, I give the nod to you.
That's why I'm all over Senkowitz.
I know it.
You give me a CZ, and I'm all over it, me being married to
that's right.
Chicago Polish nurse.
Yes. The lovely M.A.
Right. Raising our Potalians.
Odoricio on the carry around that right side, and we brought down at about the 20-yard line. Start to go a little deeper into the roster for Chatfield as well.
This is always a tough situation, both sides, coaching-wise. You have new kids who don't get a lot of playing time. It's tough to tell them not to play their best.
Right.
The only way you can affect it is by play calling, and that's, okay, we're just going to run a dive play.
Right.
And then the kid runs for a TD.
Right.
Like,
He's
I
got
can't do anything
8 yards
about that.
there. Michael Brennan on the tackle.
I think both coaches respect that.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you got reserves in, you want to make a stop, but you also want to get out of here, and you know the outcome.
Odoricio's the new quarterback. Long count here. The sophomore is going to keep it himself. Duck his way inside. A couple of forearm shivers there with the stiff arm, and a nice job. As he takes it down to about the 11-yard line.
Oh, yeah, he's battling. Big shot for him, and he knows he's on Stream at Sports, too.
Yes.
You know, getting some new media coverage.
Gain of 8.
Play his best.
2 minutes to go here. Trying to call out as best we can from what we can see here of some of the backups getting the opportunity to play for Chatfield as well. Odoricio nope, he sits. The handoff up the middle, and it is Santos Margarita. Margarita inside the 5. Brennan again on the tackle.
I'm preparing my tweet of the final, which includes the Neon Kids from Chatfield and the Homecoming King and Queens.
Queens, yes.
Well, we call him winner, or it may be a lean that here at Mullen, the females rule the thing.
Yes.
So you get two of them. But leading to, if you want to follow along during broadcasts at Stream It Sports, really easy to follow, at Lopes News Sports, if you want to pick up on coverage of Colorado Preps, or also the Broncos at Dove Valley.
Oh, yes.
CU women's basketball.
Yep. Practice starts
I've noticed
Tuesday.
you've been starting to get a little more public with that.
Yeah.
CU women's basketball has no idea what an awesome fit they're about to discover in having Cory Lopez be their play-by-play
I
man.
appreciate that.
Shout that out. And then me at Ted. No.
No.
At Marty Cesario.
Spell that for
Yeah,
him.
yeah, and you're not going to be able to spell it.
Marty's easy, M-A-R-T-Y, and I'm not spelling your last name. Starts with a C, though.
Has a few vowels.
Well, that's going to do it. We got to pick our next level student athlete of the game.
I think where it all started, it was all established with the run game, and that's through 28.
Yeah,
Marcus McElroy, the sophomore, 3 touchdown runs.
absolutely. Our next level student athlete player of the game, Marcus McElroy Jr. 100 plus yards easily, runs of 66-19, and a run of 7 yards for touchdowns. 3 of them on the ground, and that is where it all started, and then it snowballed downhill for Mullen. Each week, a player of the game going to receive a 1-year scholarship to the NLSA Game Plan High School program, helping high school students become the total balanced athlete. 54-21, the final in this one for the Mustangs. Well, they now get back to 500. They're 3-3, 2-2 in Jeffco League. They've got Lakewood next week. They'll be at Jeffco Stadium for that one. And for Chatfield, they will fall to 2-4. They're 1-3 now in Jeffco League. And for the Chargers, they've got A West coming up next week. A West has struggled a little bit to kind of find their footing. So for the Chargers, an opportunity for them to snap what has now become a 3-game losing streak here. So they try to kind of bounce things back. Before we tell you what we've got coming up on our next broadcast, some final thoughts from you, Marty, on this one. Defensively, I would say it started with McElroy Jr. He did a fantastic job, his 3 touchdowns, but Mullen's defense
Absolutely.
gave them just enough breathing room so they could kind of figure it out, and then that's where it started to snowball.
Yeah, the parts affected in terms of personnel for Chatfield, even on the offense. We talk so much about defense and attrition with injuries and medical flux, so to speak. But, hey, that's a good Chatfield offense. The Mullen defense did a great job. Special consideration for that secondary and Isaiah Banks, James Jones, and Christian Cumber, Mikey Pryor doing a good job. He had a fumble recovery, Santos Magina, and then the guys up front. We pointed it out as it developed. The pressure coming from up front from the likes of Tyler Campbell, Jack Hain, Terrell Johnson, doing a real good job. Right. And then don't forget coming in Nate Colley. I think the defense did a great job. And going back to my original point, Mullen is young. You have to play above that, be more mature than that. They did so.
Yeah, absolutely. The final 54-21, our next broadcast next week, we will have on Stream It Sports Chatfield and A West. And that'll be Thursday and Friday, Douglas County and Chaparral. So the battle down there in Parker that will be going on, of course, for Mullen, a win tonight on their home field here at De La Salle Stadium. Well, for Phil, for Alex, for Marty Cesario, I'm Cory Lopez. Thanks for watching here on Stream It Sports. We'll see you next time here on this Friday Night Lights where it's cooling down and feels like fall from Mullen High School.